Hello, hello, Charmaine, Ironside here, and I want to welcome you to this masterclass. We are going to have a whole bunch of fun together. And so I'm going to start off here by sharing my screen with you. And as I do that, I want to invite you to grab a notebook and a pen because you're going to learn some really powerful takeaways today. And what is pretty cool is when you take notes, your brain actually remembers the information far better than if you just listen passively. So I invite you to do that if that calls to you. And let me just share my screen. There we go. Okay, perfect. So you're in the right place if you're interested in learning how to lose weight and keep it off while actually being able to enjoy your favorite foods, whatever those are. For me, it's ice cream with my daughter. It's pizza night on Fridays with my kids. It's wine with my husband a few nights a week. It's being able to savor a cookie or a piece of cake at a party and have zero guilt and still be able to live in a great body that I feel good about, that's healthy, that's thriving. So if that's you, you're in the perfect place. And so my overall intention today is to show you, in fact, that a loving and enjoyable approach to weight loss is the key to your forever success. So loving might sound kind of weird to you. However, it'll make sense by the end of the class. And I'll give you a little bit of a teaser right now. I want you to think about if you try to motivate yourself to be healthy from a place of self-criticism, how does that feel? Telling yourself you don't look good and you should exercise more and you should eat better, but always kind of from a heavy place versus caring and loving for yourself and wanting to do healthy habits because you care about yourself. Think about a little kid, when you love something like a little kid, you love your little kids, you want to take care of them, you want to take them for activities, you want to feed them really healthy food. But if you don't care about something, including yourself, then it's really hard to sustain change. So first, we're going to focus on some love. We're going to love on ourselves. We're going to increase our, self-acceptance, self-appreciation, so that it becomes easy to want to move your body, to want to eat healthy, to want to drink lots of water, and to do the habits that are necessary to live in that thriving body. Also, the reason I put enjoyable is because you can see in my office here, I've got my little sign. It says, follow your bliss. I believe that life is meant to be enjoyed. That's why I'm trying to have some fun with you today on this class. And also, research shows that human beings are wired for pleasure. That is one of our biggest drivers. We want gratification, we want pleasure. And so if we try to do our weight loss journey from a place of restriction and deprivation and just yuckiness and heaviness and it's going to be so hard, then it's not going to be very motivating. That's probably why you've fallen off track in the past. And that's why people never are able to stay, keep the results they get on a diet, because it's not enjoyable. And joy and pleasure are part of success. So I'm so excited for you. And, I'll share, the result of committing to achieving my goals using this more loving, more enjoyable approach is the woman I am today. I like what I see in the mirror. I feel good. I feel confident. My body moves with ease instead of being sore all the time. My libido is up. My energy's up. All of this. I'm way more productive. I'm like a 10 times more fun mother because I feel good in my own skin. And so I want to share that with you. And I'm so excited about the idea of committing to committing to yourself, because if you just dabble or put your toe in, that's the results you're going to get. Your level of results is going to match your level of commitment. And I'll share a funny example of that. These guys, they kind of like, they dabbled for Christmas decor. They kind of threw some lights up. They did not commit. They did not go all in. Whereas these guys, on the other hand, they were like, let's commit to this. Let's make it awesome. And the result equals the level of commitment. So I just wanted to drive that point home. And so I invite you to commit to yourself today that what you learn, you're going to put into practice. You're going to get excited about your goals and dreams instead of, just kind of dabbling. Because if you haven't had the results you've wanted in the past, it might be a strategy issue. So I'm excited to share strategy with you today. It might also be a commitment issue. And that's what it is for most people. They're not actually sticking to the commitment long enough to see the results. So I'm going to share a little trick with that too, because one thing I've noticed is to keep my commitment to a new habit, I need some support. I need some accountability. I need someone holding me to my highest goals, because sometimes I get lazy. I get tired. I make excuses. We all do. And so having someone external to keep me motivated until I make these things a habit has been a game changer for me. And I'm going to share a little bit more about that later. So you're going to learn 3 things today. You're going to learn why embracing your love of food is going to actually help you drop pounds, drop weight, drop fat from your body. Instead of thinking you have to resist everything you love, never works long term. So I'm going to share a better way. Number 2, I'm going to share the must-have mindset for staying on track with your goals. And I don't know why no one else is talking about this, but I'm sure excited to talk about it today because it's a game changer. And then 3rd, you're going to learn how to have time and energy to focus on your goals, even if your life is busy, even if your life is full. Okay. So what I invite you to do is be really present today. Grab a pen and paper, like I mentioned. Give yourself the gift of being singularly focused on this class, because you're going to get out exactly what you put in. Just like life, just like this class, you're going to get out what you put in. So I'm going to start by asking you, what have been the biggest challenges that have gotten in the way of you and your body goal? So maybe you want to lose 20 pounds. Maybe you want to, fit in a certain size of clothes. Maybe you want to be able to pursue a certain activity with ease, like hiking and keeping up with, your loved ones while you hike. What's been the biggest thing that's gotten in the way? And you can say anything. I want you to write it down. What's the biggest obstacle, Tala? Maybe it's, you never make yourself a priority. Maybe it's you let other things distract you. Maybe it's your mindset's really negative. So I want you to write down, what are those obstacles and challenges up until now? Okay. And so the reason I ask you to do that is because many people, I would say most people, let these obstacles and challenges define them and determine if they're going to be successful. And what I want to put to you right now is, ask yourself, do you think anybody has been able to overcome the challenge that you have? And are you interested and excited and committed to figuring out a way to overcome that challenge? Because I promise you that other people have overcome it. I actually think you might actually find today in this class that you learned some strategies to overcome that very challenge. But what I want you to do right now is I want you to look at that. Maybe it's 1 or 2 things, and ask yourself, is this going to be the thing that keeps me from my dream body for the rest of my life? And if your answer is no, I want you to literally cross it out, just to give a sign to your brain that this is not going to define you anymore. Okay. Give yourself a blank slate today. Give yourself a fresh start today. So why learn from me? Well, I like to just share quickly about me, but I love life. I have a beautiful family. I have figured out, after 20 years of struggling with my weight, how to thrive in my own body. And so I'm just passionate about sharing this. I do have a degree in kinesiology from university, where I studied human kinetics, how the body moves, how to fuel and feed the body with proper nutrition. I learned about fitness. I learned about mindset. And so that is part of my training. I've got tons of certifications. I've been in the industry for 11 years teaching fitness and nutrition. And so what I actually think is the biggest reason why I can share with you so powerfully is I know what overweight feels like. I struggled for years with my weight, even in the career of being a trainer. I tried and failed at over 30 different weight loss regimes, whether it was a diet, keto, paleo, Slim Fast shakes, whether it was taking fat burning pills. I was desperate. I started my first diet when I was 12 years old, and I did my final diet when I was about 29. And so, that's a lot of years of dieting. I think that's almost 19 years of dieting. So I tried a lot of weird stuff. And, for me, I just, nothing really worked. And I decided at one point, when I got to the end of my rope, I said, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to commit to something big time to really break out of my slump. And so I actually signed up for a fitness competition where you get up on stage and you get your muscles all svelte, and you get a big spray tan, and you put on a little itsy bitsy bikini. And so I literally went from the photo here, you see me holding these flowers, and from that body shape to, okay, I'm going to go up on stage in an itty bitty bikini in front of my friends and family. And so I hired a coach. I spent thousands of dollars, maybe more like wasted thousands of dollars. He gave me an extreme calorie deficit plan. It was low fat, which is horrific for my hormones. I did tons of workouts, and the result was this. Yes, a huge transformation for sure. At the same time, I really had more body shame than ever, because guess what? I still wasn't very competitive in this sport. I was told by the judges I would need to lose another 20 pounds to be competitive. I had completely decimated my own ability to burn calories at rest, because I'd eaten such a small amount of calories while also doing such a huge amount of activity. I was grumpy, I was depressed. And what happened next was I thought, okay, I'm gonna try to maintain this new body, which was a complete joke. I started eating everything I deprived myself of on that extreme diet, and I gained all the weight back I lost within, the same amount of time I had lost it, which was actually about 12 weeks. That was humiliating. That was horrible for my health. My hormones were so out of whack. My mental health was out of whack. And so this was extreme enough. I needed something extreme because I'm a stubborn woman. Up until recently, I've been very stubborn with my ways. But I came to the final conclusion that lasting weight loss will never come from a diet. And I was like, damn it, I am leaving the diet industry. I am leaving the diet industry, and I must find a better way. Okay, so instead of doing something that was unhealthy and unsustainable, that was miserable, that was based in self-criticism and shame, I decided to find a way to lose weight that was healthy, that was enjoyable, that was lasting, and that was based in appreciation and love for my body instead of, criticism and shame of my body. So I went all in. Like, let me tell you, it was kind of wild. I started going to seminars and retreats all around North America. I started reading every book I could get my hands on about holistic weight loss and mindful eating and emotional eating and stress eating and self-appreciation and, anything to do with a holistic approach to weight loss that was not diet related. I read it, I studied it, I hired coaches in those areas, and literally I went all in. From that last diet to the woman I am today, I have been relentlessly pursuing this personal growth. And, I tallied it up. It's close to $100,000 I spent. And actually, I didn't spend it. I invested it, because the result is I get to be who I am today. I get to be the happy, healthy version of me that does not have to calorie count, that wakes up enjoying how she looks and feels, that gets to go out for dinner without guilt and shame, that gets to show up fully for my kids. And I do not share this to impress you. I just share this to impress upon you that it is possible for you, because I dieted for almost 20 years. I knew what to do. I was a university educated kinesiologist who studied nutrition and weight loss, and I still wasn't putting it into practice. I needed the holistic view. I needed to work on my mindset. I needed to work on my self-love. I needed to work on overcoming my habits for eating, like stress eating and emotional eating and boredom eating. Those were big factors beyond just, here's Charmaine, here's a meal plan. No, I didn't need a meal plan or a diet. I needed a holistic approach and a lifestyle approach to weight loss. So this is the result. And I like to also share, I've helped thousands of people do this. My husband and I owned 2 fitness studios and transformation studios for about 8 years. We helped almost 10,000 people who went through our doors in person and virtually. And since then, the last couple of years, I've been doing it fully online and having so much fun with it. So I'm excited to share some of those cool stories with you coming up. So let's dive in. Let's dive into the first step, okay, that I want to teach you on this class, which is why embracing your love of food will actually help you drop pounds. And I just want to remind you, and maybe you've done this or maybe you haven't, but why crash diets, obsessing about food, telling yourself you have to cut out all the foods you love in order to lose weight Why does that not work? And I'm not just saying that it doesn't work. Well, I am, but it's me. I tried it for 20 years. I've seen all my clients that I work with struggle and fail at diets. And now, after doing a lot of research, looking at the data, most studies show that about 95% of dieters gain back all of the weight they lost within 1 year of completing the diet. And that's at least within 1 year, most of them. So 95% failure rate. No, thank you. I'm going to find a better way. And that's what I've been doing. And that's what I'm teaching today. But some of the pitfalls of diets or all these quick fix promises is you're going to invest a lot of time and energy and money without a lasting result. The weight is going to come back on for 95% of us, and it's miserable. It's unsustainable. It's just not a lasting solution. So that's just some of the pitfalls. I could talk all day. I could do a whole class on the pitfalls of dieting. However, I'm more excited to focus on what does actually work. So, this is me before I embraced my love of food. I was always weighing and measuring food, dieting, crazy with that calorie counting, stuff like that. And the weight would drop, but then it would always come back on. And now that I have embraced my love of food rather than trying to resist it and do a diet, I actually embrace my love of food. And now I get to live in my best body. My weight does not fluctuate like it used to. I look in the mirror in the morning, even after a big girls' night where we drink wine and have appies and go out for dinner. I don't wake up feeling horrific about myself because I've created a lifestyle that's healthy overall. And so my body can definitely, deal with, some off nights or some indulgent days because I'm most of the time created a lifestyle that's easy to stick to. So then there's room for those more indulgences. So I want to share that with you. So being moderate with food choices is the name of the game. And some, people say, well, Charmaine, how do you do that? How do you be moderate with wine? How do you just have 1 or 2 glasses of wine rather than a whole bottle? How do you have 1 or 2 pieces of pizza rather than half a pizza? Or how do you have a few chips in a bowl rather than the whole bag? How do you have 1 or 2 Oreos instead of a whole sleeve of Oreos? So I want to share with you this strategy that I've coined and created over the last 7 years. And it's called the moderation over deprivation strategy. Okay. So it has 5 steps. And basically what it is, and you could write this down, is eating delicious and nutritious, both need to be in there, delicious and nutritious foods most of the time, and allowing treats in moderation. So delicious and nutritious are important because if you just eat nutritious foods that you don't enjoy, your brain will get tired of it because your brain needs pleasure and instant gratification in order to maintain a habit. So if you're trying to diet, that's why it never works, because your brain needs enjoyment and pleasure and gratification. So there's 5 steps to this strategy. And I wish I had 3 or 4 hours with you to go deep into each of these steps. However, for the sake of time, I don't. But I want to share with you the first step. So if you want to get to a place where your relationship with food is healthy and moderate, and you can have cake at a birthday party but not go off the wagon, or have a couple of glasses of wine on a Friday, Saturday and not go off the wagon, you've got to overcome this all or nothing mentality, which 95% of the population uses with food. So what does that mean? That means instead of, I'm going to share some examples of this, but instead of thinking, oh, I can never eat cheesecake, I can never have treats, you actually allow yourself that stuff in moderation. And I say 80-20. So 80% of the time you eat delicious, nutritious foods that align with your goals and help you get to your goals. And then 20% of the time there's room. There's room for the cheesecake. There's room for the nachos. There's room for the wine. And actually, I think the wine is actually pretty healthy, but there's room for the nachos and the pizza nights and the ice cream with your kids. So this is Tanya's little testimonial. And she was down 10 pounds within the first 4 weeks of doing this strategy. And, she sent me this text, which I think is so cool. She said, OMG, scale says 203, lost 0.4 pounds and ate cheesecake. And she had a big dinner out with her family and had dessert. And she was down in weight, which kind of dumbfounded her a bit because she was so used to the all or nothing mentality, the diet mentality. where you have to have no sugar, nothing, be extreme. And yes, it quote unquote works. However, every time she did those extreme diets, she always gained the weight back. And so she was ready for a more moderate approach. And this is another example. This is Rebecca. And she was the same as Tanya. She'd done a lot of diets in her life. And yes, they quote unquote worked. However, after they ended, she would always gain the weight back. And so her success story is awesome because she released 28 pounds in 12 weeks, has kept it off for well over a couple of years now. I check in with her and I'm still, in communication with her. And so it's not just a quick fix diet. She released 28 pounds. She released it not to find it again. And she did it while savoring baked goods in moderation, wine in moderation, takeout meals in moderation. She orders takeout a couple nights a week, and it still worked for her because she adopted those other strategies as well, which includes the mentality of releasing all or nothing thinking. So you don't just totally trash your goals if you eat something that wasn't so great. You have a good attitude about it and you're positive and you get back on track quickly. She ditched food shame. That's a massive one. I do have to invest a bit of time with my clients on that one because a lot of us have been taught to feel ashamed about our food choices. And that is a slippery slope and that is a rabbit hole. So we got to overcome food shame. I taught Rebecca, Tanya, all my clients how to eat in a different state. So eat when you're at peace with food. If your body's relaxed while you eat, you actually hold way less fat from your food than if you're stressed all the time. So we work on those strategies. We work on managing overall stress in your life because when you are stressed, you hold fat and you make poor food decisions. That's a fact. And then I also teach some quick hacks to raise your metabolism, to raise your natural fat burning ability. And of course, like I said, I'd love to explain and really expand all of those. However, I want to get these three things to you today. So if you're feeling like, whoa, this sounds so interesting, I do have a program where I expand on this and we really go deep on this. And I'll share a little bit more about how to learn about that at the end of the class too. So this stuff really does work. I have a bunch more examples of how well it works. So many clients I've taught this stuff to. However, if you want to learn more, let me know and we can definitely chat about it. So, okay, I just want to summarize. Learning how to have moderation with food will allow you to eat treats and have a great body too. And I promise you that. This is a game changer. This is the only way, in my opinion, to have the body you want and a good relationship with food. Because I know people that have the body they want, but the horrible relationship with food. They're always restricting themselves. They're miserable about food. Versus for me, I want to have joy with food. Food is important to me. I'm a foodie. And so if you want to learn to have a great body and a good relationship with food, this is something to definitely master. Okay, so the second step, the must-have for staying on track with your goals. And I really, like I said, it's a mindset thing that a lot of diets and regimes are not teaching. And so I want you to think about, what normally motivates you to get on track with your health. And for most people, it stems from look in the mirror, don't like what I see. Ugh. I hear women say that all the time. Ugh, my pants don't fit. I can't do up my jeans. I can't believe the weight, how much it's crept up. And so, if your motivation is always stemming from feeling bad about yourself, there's a reason you have not seen long-term success. And so motivation that's negative based on self-criticism will only get you to start taking action. It will never, and research shows this, it will never keep you in action long-term. What keeps you in action is excitement and inspiration. So instead of, criticizing and being in pain about your body, what if you flipped it to what do you want? What inspires you? What makes you feel like you care about yourself? So for me, what's critical? I could be like, oh, my back's hurting. I'm so lazy. And I could try to get myself to take action and exercise from that place. Or I could say, I want to thrive and be able to carry my kids around and not have a sore back and move with ease. I want to inspire my clients. I could say, oh, I don't want to look fat in front of my fitness clients. And that would be my motivator, but that would only motivate me for a short period. But now I say, I want to inspire my clients. And that is 1,000 times more motivating and sustaining. So I have so many examples of this. This is Maggie. she came to me, she was using criticism of her body to try to motivate change. And I told her, Maggie, if you use love and appreciation for yourself and inspiration, it's going to work way better. She wasn't sure. She gave it a try. And at the end of our time together, she said, Charmaine, I was super skeptical, but you know what? You were right. By loving and caring about my body, I actually want to treat it well and eat well and fuel it well and move it. And it works way better than just trying to criticize myself to try to eat healthy and try to do a workout. So love really does work. Here's another example, Deanne. You know, she had a beautiful, huge transformation. And at the end of it, she said, Charmaine, I had to love the woman I was, even though it wasn't the body of my dreams. I had to learn to love and respect her so that I had what it took to become the woman I knew I was capable of, and a woman that feels great in my own skin. And so literally she said I had to love her to become her. And that's what I teach, because most of us women, especially, we're taught to criticize and feel bad about our bodies by media, society, by friends, by whoever, by our own families. Not that they wanted to hurt us, but that's just how it is. And so we have to learn to get the love and respect for ourselves back. So summarize, to stay on track with your health for life, out with the criticism, out with the shame, in with the love, in with the love. And this is not an overnight thing. Again, I would be lying to you if I said, just replace your body shame and your self-criticism with body appreciation and self-love and you'll be good to go. You know what? It took me 7 years of studying under the masters of self-love. And it was worth every minute and every penny I invested and all the energy. And it took me 7 years. I don't think it has to take anybody 7 years, because I took all my trial and error and I made it into a program, which self-love and self-appreciation actually are the golden thread throughout the whole weight loss program. And I'm going to share more about that. So third thing I want to teach you today, hope you're getting some good value. I'm going to trust that you're getting some good value so far, is how to have time and energy to focus on your goals, even with a full life. Okay. So I know you have a full life. I'm going to assume that. I don't know. I've never really met anyone who doesn't have a lot going on. But I want to, I really want to teach you this. So the bottom line, and this is kind of the real talk, because I am a coach and I don't really like to mess around. I like to get to the point. We need to accept and embrace the fact that living in our healthiest body will save us so much time and so much energy overall. Now, let me explain what I mean. By asking you some questions. First, would you save time and energy if you felt amazing in your own skin? You know, if you looked in the mirror and you loved what you saw in the morning and you never had to change your outfit, would you save time and energy if your doctor's visits were cut down because you just felt great and you didn't ever have all these pains and ailments because of, being inactive or holding excess weight? Would that save you time and energy? Would you save time and energy if you just had a strategy and a plan and you just got started instead of thinking about getting started and feeling overwhelmed and exhausted about the thought of getting started all the time? So I hope the answer is yes to all those. I know it was for me, because I was actually wasting so much time and energy feeling bad in my own skin. Also, would you save time and energy if you invested now in your health? And this is a little bit of a sad thing to share, but my mom passed away in her early 60s. It's sad for a lot of reasons. It's sad, now I'm going to talk about my personal reasons, but one thing that's really sad to me is she never loved her body. I remember looking at wedding photos from her wedding and she said, Charmaine, I looked great then, but I didn't even appreciate how I looked. I still criticized my body back then. And, she got to her deathbed. And it's also sad to me that she passed away in her early 60s. And I do think part of that is that she didn't prioritize her health as much as she could have. And she put everybody else in front of her, and she didn't work on her mindset as much and her self-love as much. So if you put your health as a priority now, I believe it will pay you off in dividends down the road. You're going to live longer, you're going to have more quality years, and you're just going to thrive. I don't believe we're here to just survive either and live a long life, but just kind of survive. No, I believe we're here to thrive. So take the first step. I think a lot of people are waiting and trying to find the perfect thing. It's like, no, just take the first step. Take the first action, start to build some momentum, because momentum builds on itself. And, an example of someone who wasn't sure if they could find time or energy to get healthy. This is Begonia. She came to me. She said, Charmaine, I'm busy. I'm studying. I'm moving. I've got a lot going on. But you know what? She just bit the bullet. She did the work. She upgraded her nutrition. She started moving her body in joyful ways. And now, she released 20 pounds while working with me in our 12 weeks together and taking this program that I offer. And then afterwards, she was able to continue releasing weight, got down to 130. And, I love this, what she says. I have so much energy and confidence now. I think we could all use more energy and more confidence. And that's what happens when you prioritize your health and take care of yourself. So another massive time and energy saver, if you want to know about it, is, Jim Rohn said, success leaves clues, so model success, because success leaves clues. And that's what I did. Instead of trying to reinvent the wheel again and again and again and learn it all on my own, after that 20 years of struggle, I hired coaches. I hired mentors. I learned their systems, from nutrition to stress eating to self-love and mindset. I hired people to show me, because I did not want to go through another 20 years of pain and struggle and trial and error. I wanted to cut down on all of that. And instead of, wasting more years of time, wasting more energy, wasting more money, I modeled success. I compressed years of struggle, into weeks and months. I saved so much energy and frustration. I don't need another success system. I have the solution now. And so I just want to invite you to that. I don't believe we're meant to figure it out all on our own. And that's why there's experts and coaches out there in different areas. And I highly, recommend that, so having that solution is so important. And so, I just want to finish off by saying, I shared a lot of information here, and I really just wanted to give you, a little bit of a teaser, a little bit of a excitement that there's a different, better way than dieting, and you can have success. And it really, today was the tip of the iceberg. And so if you feel like, I don't know, but I know I need something different, I need some help. If you resonated with me, if you resonated with my approach, I do have a 12-week weight loss, weight release program. And it's really awesome. I won't talk about it too much here because I don't know if it's a fit for you. And so if you're interested in knowing if it's a fit for you, what I love to do is I love to just offer a 15-minute discovery call where we're going to hop on the phone. We're going to talk about your goals. We're going to talk about what's been your challenge in the past. And then we'll see if it seems like I might be able to help you. We'll book a second call and we can go through everything. And if it doesn't seem like I can help you, I'll at least guide you in the right direction. So if you want to book a discovery call, if you're ready to make a change, you're not totally sure about what your next step is, book a call. They're totally complimentary. They're a lot of fun too. They give you a lot of clarity and excitement as well. So I look forward to seeing you on a call. And I just want to leave you with this. You deserve, absolutely, you deserve to live your best life in your best body. And later becomes never. So I believe your time is now. This is just the beginning of your journey. And you have greatness in you. We all do. And we're all meant to thrive. So if getting on a call feels like it resonates for you, love to do that with you. And I just want to give you a big congratulations for jumping on today, staying to the end, taking those notes. Definitely take action on what you learned. It will change your life. And I look forward to connecting with you soon.